Are we getting the Ghost as the next vintage collection HasLab? I really hope so. Let's go. All right, guys. So today I kind of want to talk a little bit about the big rumor that's going around that the next Hasbro HasLab is going to be a vintage collection ghost ship, which to me is a dream come true. The Ghost is the ship used by the Rebels crew, the Ghost crew from the Star Wars Rebels animated show. So this is a picture of it here on the screen. So it's a very iconic ship if you watch that show. Also, it did make a live action cameo in The Rise of Skywalker. So that one sequence at Exegol, I believe it was, when all the ships came and you seen the Falcon swoop in, it is right there to the right of the Falcon. If you're looking straight forward at it, was the Ghost, which is kind of crazy. Like, I definitely didn't notice that during the movie, but afterwards, everyone on the internet was talking about it. Like, that's the freaking Ghost right there, which is crazy. So the Ghost is from Rebels, and it hasn't been done yet as a true scale vehicle for like vintage collection or Black Series. They did make this Ghost that's part of the Galactic Heroes line, but this is for ages 3 to 7, so I can't play with it. But that's the only Ghost that we got. And then another part of the rumor, besides the fact that it's the Ghost ship, it's gonna come with the Phantom. So if you watch Rebels, the Phantom was like a smaller ship that was within the Ghost that they would kind of like travel out to missions on planets, and the Ghost would kind of stay, in outer space and things like that. So the Phantom is a very iconic smaller ship too. Got into a lot of trouble for sure in the Phantom, but a lot of cool stuff with that. And we actually did get a vintage scale Phantom that did release. So it was this one right here. So the Phantom Attack shuttle. But right now, this alone is going for like $100 on eBay. There's I believe, a Target exclusive version that comes with a Kanan figure in it that goes for like even more than that. So like, there's a bunch of these on eBay, but they are not cheap. Now, loose out of the box, you could probably find a deal, but like, I just like getting them in the box, opening it up, having the box to display. So we did at least get this version of the Phantom, but that's what the big rumor is, right? That it's going to be the Ghost ship and it's going to include the Phantom. And then it also, part of the rumor was the Ghost with the Phantom, and they're saying a Hera vintage figure. Now, I don't know if it'll be carded or loose, but we haven't had any of the Ghost crew in Vintage collection yet. They all have dropped in Black Series. So this is kind of what the Black Series Hera looks like. So I mean, I would guess if they do a vintage, it will kind of be that just scaled down. So it should be very similar to this. But I would imagine if it's part of the package for the vehicle, it's probably gonna be loose. And if we get any carded figures, maybe it would be like the add-ons for the different levels. So the way a HasLab works, it has a certain number of backers that it needs to go into production. So if it doesn't hit that amount, it won't get made. And say if the number is like 7,000 backers, once it hits 7,000, it'll have stretch goals. So the first stretch goal could be, all right, if we hit 9,000, we're going to include this. And then the next stretch goal could be 11,000. If we hit 11,000, we're going to include this. So I'm kind of speculating that with these stretch goals, we might get more of these Rebels figures. And again, these are all done in Black Series. So I'm going to show you the Black Series counterpart just so you can have an idea of what it might look as a potential add-on if the Ghost does come out, if it does get backed, and if it does have those bonus levels. So I would think the next one would have to be hopefully Chopper. And if we get a Chopper with this HasLab, I hope it is carded because I need Chopper on his card. It would just be such a hilarious picture, whatever they choose. But I mean, more than likely for the Ghost, you need the pilot, Hera, the co-pilot, Chopper. He's always there on the Ghost. So that would be my guess for possibly one of the first levels of the stretch goals. Now, next, I would guess maybe Sabine. It'd be dope to get a Sabine. She was on there a lot, especially, with the Phantom and all that stuff. So, hey, maybe the next stage could be a Sabine. Then I'm just being greedy here now. I would like it if they just did like 4 or 5 levels of stretch goals just to get the whole Ghost crew. Because how cool would that be if you received your vintage collection Ghost and it has the Phantom and it has the entire Ghost crew? Like, that would be such an epic unboxing. And at that point, I kind of probably would want none of them carded. That way I could just throw them all in there right away. So this is right here is the Kanan Black Series that came out. Then we got Ezra, and I hope if they do include an Ezra that it's the young Ezra with the longer hair and the lightsaber gun combo. That's my favorite lightsaber of his. And then, of course, you can't forget everyone's favorite Lasat, Zeb. So those are all the figures that possibly could come with it, right? But the rumor is that it's supposed to include a Hera. Now, I mean, nothing's set in stone. These rumors could just be made up. But like, there's a lot of people talking about it on YouTube, on the community. So it's kind of like it only makes sense. And like the timing of it too is coinciding with the Ahsoka show. So like that is literally the best and perfect way to create hype is because the ghost is in Ahsoka. Like it's in the Ahsoka show. So we're gonna see it live action again. So I guess we'll see. Now, San Diego Comic Con is July 20th through the 23rd. So I believe Hasbro's panel is going to be Friday the 21st. I know their panel last year was on the Friday as well. So I'm kind of just speculating and guessing that this year it should be Friday, July 21st. So on that day is when they'll have their panel and they're going to reveal the HasLab. They already confirmed that the HasLab is going to be revealed at San Diego Comic Con and that it's a vintage collection HasLab. So that we know for sure. The only thing that makes sense right now is just the ghost. So I'll be definitely dropping a video on the 21st once it's officially announced, covering it, showing the pictures, the details, and all that good stuff. But now we're going to speculate the pricing, which pricing can make or break your HasLab. Like the last two HasLabs that came out were both major failures. One, both basically because of the price point. One kind of because of the character. I don't know if it was the last one or the second to last, but the last two HasLab. One of them was Riva's Inquisitor lightsaber. Now, $500, which that price point is kind of crazy, but at the same time, if it would have said Inquisitor lightsaber or Grand Inquisitor, I probably would have been more inclined to maybe get it because it looks sick. The display, the stand look awesome, but like I'm not dropping $500 for a lightsaber where the base says Riva on it. Like, are you kidding me? Like, in my opinion, Riva was not needed in the Kenobi show, right? All I wanted was Hayden and Hewan and more of them, and she just took screen time away from my boys. So that's why I kind of am not the biggest fan of hers. Now, don't get me wrong, if you would have threw her in another show or movie, I would have been more inclined to like her because her story, if you think of it, is kind of dope. You know, a Jedi, survive Order 66, turn Inquisitor. Like, that's kind of cool in itself, but like, she wasn't needed in that show. But that's neither here nor there. But that's probably a huge reason why that failed. It had no chance. It had no chance. The minute I saw it, I'm like, this thing has no chance. Now the Rancor was different. I kind of wanted it. I'm not gonna lie. I did back it. So it was like 350, which was kind of pricey, but like I'm a sucker for Rancors. So I know it was close to getting back, and then it started to show us what the stretch goals were. And the stretch goals, I forgot what they were, but I remember that they were trash and everyone was upset. Like one of them was like a cardboard backing to make it look like it's in the Rancor pit, which nobody wants that. So you want us to get a couple thousand more backers for this little cardboard cutout with some little 3D printed bones? Like, no. By the time they showed us the last stretch goal, I think it was like a Luke Skywalker, which was dope, but that should have been included or the lower level and the Gamorrean guard. Like they dropped the ball on that a lot. I mean, the price was crazy, but if it would have had what we wanted from the beginning or in the lower levels, it could have got back. But so that one was a fail. So this vintage collection one should hit it out of the park. The last two vintage collection ones, the sail barge and the Razor Crest, both like double tripled their goals. So I have a feeling this one's gonna hit. The only thing I'm worried about is the pricing, because I'm hearing people say that it might be around 600 $600. Now, that price point in itself is crazy if that is the price, but it depends on what it includes. So if it's 600 and you're getting the Ghost, the Phantom, and a couple of figures that are sought after, it's not that bad if you compare it to the other prices of the other vehicles. So before we take a look at the other HasLabs, this size comparison chart shows the size of the Ghost, which I didn't realize how big the Ghost ship actually was. I mean, it's hard to tell from watching the animated show, but literally the Ghost is bigger than the Millennium Falcon. So keep that in the back of your mind, because like the vintage collection Millennium Falcon is big. So this Ghost ship is gonna be a big ship, a big ship. So right here on the screen, you can see the size comparison. Now it's not bigger than the sail barge, right? So this sail barge, when it dropped, the retail was $499, so $500 for the sail barge, right? Then after the sail barge, we got the Razor Crest. Now the Razor Crest is big too. This one retailed 350. So you got 500, you got 350. Now for comparison, this was the last Falcon released by the Vintage Collection. I think it was like a Disney Park exclusive. I think it was shared with Target too. So this Falcon was 400. So the Ghost is bigger than the Falcon, but smaller than the Barge. So I'm hoping that we get like that 450 price point. But realistically, there is a good chance it could be the 500 to 600 mark, which is crazy. So let me know in the comments below, like what price point you would prefer and what price point is like a big no for you, no matter what. So yeah, guys, be sure to tune in July 21st, San Diego Comic-Con for the Hasbro HASLAB panel, where it'll be officially revealed if it is the Ghost, and then we could really get a good look at the vehicle, the box that it comes in, what it comes with, and potentially maybe one or two of the stretch goals. But comment down below if you're excited for the Ghost and if you want this as the next HasLab, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.